Hello friends, I'm Marlon Pittman. This is MV Pittman Cross Sim Racing, and today I'm here to tell you about three things. USB hub, some of my favorite 3D prints, and aluminum profile uprights for your sim rig. So starting off with this is a USB hub, and this model is an Initech. It's I guess a 10 gigabyte 10 megabit. I'm not sure how fast a USB hub needs to be, but it's USB 3. And what I usually do with it is plug it up right on top of my wheel deck or at the top of my upright. And what I actually do is plug a wheel directly into it. Usually you want a dedicated USB hub. Ideally, it would be powered for your wheel. I use it for flash drives in addition to a wheel, but it's worked out pretty well for me not being powered. I label it so that I know what it is, and I label both ends. And as you can see, it's not powered. They make hubs that have little power injections, but this little 4-port hub has worked out really well for me. I'm very happy with it. But one thing that I'm additionally happy with is another 3D printed item in addition to these labels. What I have here is a cover for that hub, and it also mounts it. So there's a little hole for the light, which is on it, and this fits in really nicely. In addition to that, I have 3D printed T-nuts on here. So as you may know, T-nuts are really too expensive for what they are. So I have M5 nuts with a 3D printed T-nut because this isn't really holding a lot of weight. What it's doing is using friction to hold your hub on top of it. So what it does, it just holds your hub like this. You fit it in like that, and then you mount it. So you have 3 on the side, 1 on the end, and usually what I do is mount it so that this end is towards me, and then these holes are accessible. So I might plug a USB hub or not a USB hub, a USB headphones or my wheel cable, or save one for something else, and then have this one accessible for the front, like if I need to put a flash drive in or something like that. But it's really nice. The only problem with it is that it needs 120 millimeter profile to mount. This distance is greater than 80 from side to side, so, or greater than 40. So you'd either have to make it 80, which would be kind of silly, or mount it this way for 120. But it works out really well. I'm happy with it. The other thing that you probably want to see is this. This is a piece of 120 millimeter wide profile. So it's 40 millimeters in between each of these. It's 40 series. And what I did, I upgraded my sim rig by using larger uprights. And the uprights themselves don't really make your wheel deck more sturdy, but what it does is increase the area at the intersection of your uprights and your base. So as you've seen in another video, I bought plates that are 40 millimeter or 80 millimeters apart on one side and 120 millimeters apart on the other side. And those just screw into the upright, and then on the outside of that, you get screws that go into your bottom rails, and it provides a nice sturdy upgrade for whatever wheel deck that you're gonna put on top of it. As far as cutting profile, it's not really difficult if you have the right tools. You can use a hacksaw. Anything that you would use to cut wood will work on aluminum. It's a pretty soft metal. However, my recommendation would be get a chop saw. If you don't have one, borrow one. If you use a hacksaw, the likelihood of you getting this straight without a miter box is low, and getting it straight with a miter box requires some skill and practice. And I don't know about you, but aluminum profile is expensive enough that I don't want to practice on it. What I did was just add some tape, draw a line, align the chop saw, and cut it. For my uprights, they are 800 millimeters tall, and so I just bought 2 pieces of 1000 millimeter profile and cut it. So I have this 200 millimeter piece left over. One cut, not bad. You can see on here there's a whole bunch of flakes, so definitely wear safety glasses. You don't want any of this in your eyes, and definitely consider cleaning that area afterwards. Also, lubricate your profile if you want to be able to cut that smoothly. You can see the cut end here, a little rough, but not too bad. And then this is the end that was cut from the factory. And it comes wrapped up really nice to prevent damage as it ships. But I'll go ahead and unwrap this for you so you can see the profile and then see how this hub would fit on here. So doing all this on camera, first time mounting, but my wheel deck has 120 millimeter profile, and my new uprights have 120 millimeter profile. So this USB hub, I can mount it in a few more positions than I would have been able to previously. So I'm excited about reusing this hub, and I usually plug that hub directly into my PC, which is why I probably don't have any problems with power on my wheel. But if you are chaining or plugging a whole bunch of devices in, you may want to use USB tree view to make sure that you are doing it in a way that is helpful. So even with that tape holding a bunch of flakes, I've got a few on my shirt. So definitely do this in an area where you probably either have a vacuum or are willing to do some light broom work to get everything working. But the way T-nuts work, if you don't know, just line them up. Hopefully you get it all lined up. Turn them if they don't go in. So it goes on like that. And then you find a tool. In this case, these are M5 socket head bolts. So if you're smart, you'll just get a tool. Since these are M5, then I need a 4 millimeter hex wrench. And obviously you can use any wrench you want. This is just one I had convenient. And as I mentioned, those T-nuts don't have to be super strong. And if you've been doing sim racing and wheel building long enough, you probably have a whole bunch of M5 nuts laying around, and you can just use those. So that mounts your hub pretty securely, and then on the back side you have none. On the front side you have 3. You have 3 holes here, and then 1 hole here. So this can be on your upright like that, on the inside or the outside, and then you could also mount it on your wheel deck so that you have an exposed USB port and a couple places to maybe unplug and plug in your headphones or any other USB device like a flash drive that you would want to use. So yeah, super happy with this print, super happy with those T-nut prints, super happy with upgraded profile, super happy about a lot of things, which as you know, sometimes you're not happy, and a little thing can make a difference. So just wanted to share that with you guys. If you like this video, I might make more. All you have to do is subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm MV Pittman, Cross Sim Racing. Talk to you next time.